Hi, I'm here with Kylee Kay. She's shared with us over several clips of her experiences in the industry, having extensive experience and knowledge over 30 years, and being also managing director of Asia Pacific Travel Marketing Services. So we're going to be talking about ecotourism. Because this is a growing market, it's also it's a diverse market, and it's also in some ways, in some areas, an emerging and new market. So what is ecotourism, and what are some of the things you've observed about this particular area?
So, I mean, when I think ecotourism, I think responsible tourism, or from a client's, a traveller's perspective. Travelling to places that respect, the earth, travelling with companies that respect the cultures for where I'm travelling, doing it in a way that is sustainable and friendly to the earth, to the humans, to the animals, etc. So making sure that, there's a conscience with your travel decisions. Now, we've spoken sort of offline, if you like, briefly about things like, volunteer tourism. And that's something that I watch with interest, purely because I think that there's a lot of companies out there that perhaps promote themselves as eco-friendly or sustainable tourist type companies, when in fact that may not be the case. And one of the examples I saw recently, which I thought was really brilliant, was if you want to do some volunteer tourism, do it without a camera or your devices, your iPad, your iPhone, whatever. Do it offline so that no one ever sees that it happened. And then I wonder, how many people would actually go and do it. And when they do it, what sort of impact are they having when they go there? On, is it a positive impact, or is it, actually, as you've mentioned before, taking away jobs from, the people that are there, or, just doing your research and thinking about the impact that, everything that you do on the earth is having.
I think that's a really important word of wisdom and caution regarding voluntourism, because there are many people who want to use their time to help others in need, and there's a lot of wonderful work and wonderful people who commit their time regularly, but there is also an exploitation in this market, and I've been to many different nations and seen orphanages that actually aren't really orphanages, and research has shown there are places which actually appear to be orphanages as a front, and it's a money-making machine. So that isn't to turn anyone off, because there is wonderful aspects to volunteering, but I would really encourage people to do their research, look at the places that they're going into, but also not just, there's a surface level of how things are presented, because sometimes if you explore some of these big companies that appear to be socially responsible, that's how they have marketed themselves as green. If you scratch beneath the surface, they're actually not that sustainable, or not really having positive impact on the communities that they are based in. So I think that is a good word of advice is, check your ego.
Yeah, that's it. And, it's make sure, I think the intention of the traveller is, predominantly good. Really a desire to help, and a desire to, see with kindness. TripAdvisor forums are a great place to really get other travellers' experiences and understanding of what it is they bought, what it is they experienced, and truly how green it was, or how eco-friendly it was. We spoke earlier about even have a look at the soaps, and have a look at we had some cottages that we had as a B&B We sold it as eco. They had eco-loos, which people wanted the eco experience, but when they experienced the eco-loo, they didn't necessarily really want the eco experience. But even down to the tea lights, which normal tea lights, which was cheap, and we used to give 50 odd tea lights to any one stay because it was a romantic setting. But the paraffins and what have you in those were not good for the environment, and so we went to beeswax, and it all adds up to extra costs. However, a client, any traveller who really wants that genuine eco experience will pay for it as well, because they know that is something. It isn't always cheaper to do it eco-friendly, but it is always better.
Wonderful. Thank you for chatting with us.
Pleasure.